We're gonna cut this entire quarter off and rebuild a new one from scratch. We're gonna build an aluminum scoop on the outside that grabs there and puts it in on the brakes. It's starting to take shape. You guys, we're in our final days and we're running out of inventory. Head to robbylayton.com right now and get yourself entered to win the 1972 Chevy truck. You're getting cash in every order, plus we're doing free shipping on orders that are $50 or over. Head to robbylayton.com right now. For every $5 you spend, you're getting entered to win the 1972 Chevy truck, plus 2 golden ticket winners for the next few days. This ends September 1st. Everything goes away on this giveaway. We're giving the truck away. We're giving 2 golden tickets away. Don't hesitate. Head to robbylayton.com right now. Get yourself entered to win the 1972 Chevy truck and a chance to win a golden ticket worth $1,000. 2 of you lucky winners are getting $1,000 apiece. Other lucky winners, you're getting cash in every order. This is a no purchase necessary giveaway. You can enter for free. Head to robbylayton.com, check the official rules for details. All right, we are getting back to work on the CBOYS Hoonicorn replica, where we are taking a 1967 Hoonicorn replica and we are converting it to a 1965 Hoonicorn replica. Then we're going to give it back to the CBOYS. But if you guys haven't checked out the other videos, make sure you go back, check out the other ones. Check out the one where we went down to the Petersen Museum in LA and we went and actually looked at the Hoonicorn. So we're back. And we've got a lot of stuff done from the last videos. So you might have noticed, we were working on the suspension. You didn't see this front end of the frame. You didn't see the firewall finish or up here. But we got the brake booster mounted. We got the pedals mounted. We got the suspension all in and done. We have a rack and pinion in. Best of all, we have a tunnel and we have a floor and we've got a lot of other stuff done. But now what we need to do is we need to cut this quarter panel off. We need to rebuild a 65 version. Now, when we bolt the door up, because we've got a 65 door, I will show you, it doesn't line up to this quarter. The 67 is actually wider, 65 is more narrow. It doesn't line up here very good, but we're gonna cut this entire quarter off and rebuild a new one from scratch so that it appears like a 65. But in doing that, we're gonna add a vent that actually directs air all the way through and out of this wheel well right on the brakes.
That one just for show?
Yeah, this one's fake. And there used to be a quarter window here, but the real Hoonicorn doesn't have windows. And this is blocked off and it has scoops that draw air and it's got a scoop in the front fender. So we're actually going to put a scoop right here that directs air in, or actually it's going to pull hot air out. That's what it's going to do. It's going to allow the air out. Now we've got a side cover we've got to build here. There's a lot of stuff we need to do, but also you might notice that we have a rear end in now. So we went ahead and ditched the old Crown Vic rear end. I reached out to my buddy Ashton over at Quick Performance. I said, hey Ashton, this is what we're doing. We're working with the CBOYS and we're going to be replicating the most iconic car in the world, the Hoonicorn. And so he said, hey, we're in, what do you need? So they custom built this fully custom built Ford 9-inch Quick Performance rear end with 300 gears. It's got a nodular Yukon center section. It's got the best of the best parts in it. And we've got it in place right where we need it. So it's the correct width. We measured it all out. They custom built it. It's right centered where we need it. So we built these cool little stands and it's going to be sitting here until we 4-link it. So we've got some templates here. Now this is going to be our panhard bar bracket. So this is going to go right here. It's going to go on the rear end. I mean, it fits, trust me. And it's going to connect to this bar that we have in place. So we have that bar just sitting there. We took the original one out that somebody had built because they built it out of conduit. So
Conduit?
Conduit. The thinnest, I'm not even joking. I'll find it and I'll show you guys. But this rear end was held in with conduit. And it had like the NASCAR style radius arm things, but we took all those out because we're 4-linking this and then we're gonna coil over it. So we still gotta get coilovers, but we do have it 4-linked. It's gonna be super sweet. So, well, we don't have it 4-linked, but anyway, this is what I'm getting at. So taking our template and we've made brackets onto there, and then we need this one here and that one here. These are going to be our 4-link mounts. So what we got to do is take all this over to the Fast Cut CNC. We're going to put it on our Zyatech tracer and we're going to make these brackets. So let's go in the other shop. Let's get these all cut out and then we can get them back over here and start grinding them up and getting them to fit on this We probably won't be able to get it 4-linked yet because we're still waiting on the links, but we'll get all the brackets ready, get everything in place so that when they show up from Barnes 4-wheel drive, we'll be able to do it.
Okay, we're getting the rack mounted, building mounts off there, but we got to relocate the oil filter because of the fact that we moved the motor way back, it runs right into the rack. So, but they make a remote oil filter kit, so that'll get rid of all this junk in here. And we'll have plenty of room for the rack, and we can put the oil filter somewhere where it's easy to get at, so where you can just reach up and grab it. So we're getting there. We almost got steering. Then we narrowed the suspension up because before it was too wide. So we just have to make shorter ones of these to connect them. You can see they're a little long now, but that's an easy thing to shorten, and we'll have good steering.
All right, so you guys just saw the Quick Performance rear end. That thing is a brand new 9-inch. Those guys over at Quick Performance hooked us up. They did a full spool. I believe it's the 300 gears, which is gonna be super awesome for drifting and doing everything the CBOYS need to do. So now we just need to make these brackets. So Sean's made some templates. We're gonna use my Zyatech paper to CAD. Now this is a program that my friends up at Fast Cut CNC provided to me. It's this awesome tracer. So what I'm gonna do is rather than like explaining it, I'm going to show you guys how I use it. So I'm going to set you up on a tripod, but basically what it is I got this cursor. I'm going to trace all of this, and I've gone and I've made marks where I want to make all my points. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to put a 0.625 hole in that. I'm going to make 4 of these, 3 of those, 4 of these, 4 of those, and then I'm going to flip it to right here. We're going to do one full program because the backside of this has more. So anyway, just hang out, follow along, and then once it's in the computer, I will show you, and we'll cut them out on the plasma. Right there. All right, so check this out. I just used my cursor, I went all the way around it. Now, see this? Check it out. Boom, there it is. So now what I need to do is I need to put a 0.625 hole in 4 spots. We got those marked. I'm gonna show you how to do that. It's super slick. You go over here to the computer and you select center point circle. We're gonna do center point circle. We're gonna go down to the bottom and we're gonna select what size. And we're gonna do a 0.6250 inch circle. Boom. So that is a single pointed hole. Now check this out. Come right here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. See that? Now look, we got 4 circles. They're all 5/8 of an inch. Heck yes. So we can go in here and turn the black off. And there you go. There's our part. Check this out. Boom. Anyway, it's that easy. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this bracket up here, this bracket, and then we'll flip this paper over and we'll continue programming it. So just sit back and hang out. All right, so I've got the first side all traced out. Now, you can buy all these brackets, but we want to make them because that's the entire point of the series, is we want to show you guys how to build the most badass Hoonicorn replica anybody can build for the CBOYS, because they need something nice, like something really nice, so that when they're out drifting, you guys cringe when Ben goes around, what do they call it, the Hoonicorner? I just watched their video and the Miata slapped a tree with the camera hanging off the back, and that's right where the Hoonicorn got hit. And so it's a bad corner, but this thing sliding around that corner is going to be so sweet once it's done, but it can't do that without these 4-link brackets. So we're gonna get these all, I'm gonna flip that over, do the other side, and then we'll put this into another program and then cut it out on that metal over here. All right, so here's the second side. So now I flipped it over, I need to trace these brackets. So once I get them traced, I will show you, but we're gonna put you back on the tripod and we're gonna let you watch the computer this time. All right, so I got everything traced out. I got it in the computer, and you just saw that we cut it out. Everything is exactly like it was when I traced it. So I didn't have to do anything to these parts, and they fit perfectly on my template. That's the awesome thing about the tracer and Fast Cut CNC. This table is amazing. So we've got a few parts we're waiting on from Barnes 4-wheel drive. We're getting rear links and ends and stuff so that we can make our 4-link and our panhard bar. This, and this are going to become this right here. So look at that. You may not believe it, but I promise you, it'll look like it. So I'm gonna get all these brackets and everything over to the table. Let's go get them all ground up to where we can start fitting them on the tube and waiting for our parts to get here. All right, so check this out. I told you guys earlier or yesterday that I was gonna show you the panhard bar that they had. This is literally conduit. It is insane. I don't know what people think, but anyway, not safe. Don't use conduit for your panhard bar. So anyway, we got some grinding to do. So I'm gonna set you up on a tripod and get it all cleaned up.
"2,000 years later."
All right, we got it all. The faces of these all ground and DA'd, so now it's not bad. We do need to clean up the radius a little, or whatever that's called, all the way on the outside a little bit. But for now, we're just gonna clean these up. I think we're gonna build this bracket because we have everything to make this one. So I'm gonna get Sean's help. We'll build that, we'll tack it together, we'll get it on the rear end, we'll tack it on the rear end, and then we are gonna have to hold off and wait for the other stuff because we don't have all the Barnes 4-wheel drives. We don't have all the Barnes 4-wheel drive stuff. So get working on what we can work on, and then we'll finish the rest once we can get it here. So let's go build us a panhard bar bracket. All right, so Sean is gonna help me bend this, and we're gonna take the cardboard and make it into metal. All right, so we got that one fit and we have this one fit. Now we just need to go and grind everything up really good. We'll TIG weld this sucker together, but look at that. That's what it ended up being. We did that and we did that. So we need to grind all the flat marks out of it so you can't see. It's gonna look good. And then we gotta make sure that it'll go on the axle housing. Almost, but not quite. So we'll grind that out. We'll grind that out. We'll make it a true 3-inch hole, and we'll TIG it together. Man, you're not even going to be able to tell this sucker was plasma.
What I was gonna say, you know you're not messing around when you're
All for one bracket, 3 hours later. We're sanding the welding surface, but we are going to put some weld on holes because these are not perfect holes because plasma never makes it perfect. So we're going to put some weld on thingies that make it a true 5/8 hole. So, dang. Now that one's ready. We got to do the rest of it. We're gonna get this all tacked up, and then we'll flip it over, put the other side on, and then we'll make sure it fits on the housing before we fully weld it out. All right, so we're gonna let this cool down for a second, and then Sean's gonna make sure it fits on the axle housing, and then we'll weld it all out. So, gonna have to waller this out a little bit, clean that up, but it don't look too bad. We'll TIG the inside where we can see, and we'll do the outside, and then we'll show you guys where this is going to go on the axle. Let's go see how far off we are. Ooh, pretty dang close, actually. I think I'm just going to open this top real quick, and that'll probably give us enough. Because that goes right on. It's just not wanting to go on the other side. That'll do. It's actually pretty dang close. the bottom, we're gonna have to put a filler in. That fits like a glove. Look at that. Cool. So this goes on the other side. That's so awesome. It actually fits. Get this all welded out and then we can get it in there and figure out where it goes on the axle.
So if you look, we got gap there, same gap there, tight in the middle. When they built this car, they cut the bottom of this out, the rocker, and that's their structure. And so it heaved it up in the middle, and that's why the door is actually rubbing right here. This is all heaved up because they took all the structure out of it, and they just left it. So we're gonna try to flatten it back out.
All right, so we've got the 65 door on here, and you can see just what's different on the 65 versus 67. So the Hoonicorn was a 65. This is a 67. In order to replicate it, we got to make it look like it's 65. So we're putting 65 doors, 65 fenders. Fenders are going to be heavily modified to look like the Hoonicorn, but this quarter panel's got to be cut off. So we're going to go ahead, cut the whole thing off, and we're going to rebuild one from scratch. Anyway, but check this out. It's totally different shape. So we'll get that cut off and then show you guys how we build a quarter panel. Build the entire thing. Now, also back here, so once we get it cut off, this has to go in. What did you say, about an inch, inch and a half?
Yeah.
The bottom of the quarter panel has to go in so that we're straight all the way down the car because the 67's wider. And then after that, where's our template? The rocker panel's garbage. It's gonna get all cut off. It's full bottom. They didn't even connect it down here, whoever built this. Just a single skin, just floating. So we're gonna build a rocker plus a belly pan. So this is what we've come up with. We're gonna make it 76 inches long. It's gonna go all the way underneath the car into the tunnel, and we'll bead roll it, and it'll go. So that's what it'll look like. And then it's gonna be totally flat bottom. It's gonna be totally cool. So it's quarter pound cut off. Yikes! Now this is where I want to think. Oh, they did!
They put a quarter on it.
Yeah, whoever fixed this for them put a quarter on it already.
Yeah, this is where the wheel fell off, huh?
Yeah, but they just put a new quarter on it and just went over top, and then, which whatever. It is what it is. Nice! Okay, well, oh, that's rusty demons. Anyway, we took the quarter off so we can like give it back to him or something, but oh my heck. We'll fix that. Like I said, we got to take this in an inch and a half. We got to do some fixing, but now you can really see the difference. So Sean's an expert, so I'm actually going to have him trim this up so you guys can see right where this needs to go. But basically, this is the start. The window track has to come out, and the rebuild process is in motion.
Unwelded them.
You shoved in, but that's fine. Whatever. It's a hashtag race car. Oh, and this is all welded out. So this is really, really hot. We're gonna let it sit overnight. Then we'll get this installed tomorrow. So we'll mount this where it needs to go. We won't weld it in there. We'll tack it in there. We'll take it out. We'll weld it all up solid. Put the rear end back in. We'll build brackets. Actually, we probably won't take it out and weld it. We'll put all the brackets and then we'll take it out and weld it. I'm thinking backwards. It's late at night and I'm tired, so it's tomorrow. All right, so where we left off yesterday, this has got to come out. So we have to build the air scoop first. So we'll get all this out, get this trimmed, and then we're gonna start making patterns so we can build the scoop that brings air into the brakes. So Sean's gonna get working on that. The bracket I welded up yesterday, I took it apart because it was hotter than crap. So I'm gonna weld the inside, and then we'll get it in place here and tack it to the tube. So anyway, making progress. All right, one bracket down, all welded. We have 4 more to go. So I'm gonna weld out our 4-link brackets. This is gonna be the front one. This is gonna go on the frame rail itself. And then we've got 2, this is to adjust it, right? So if we wanna have this or that.
For traction.
Yeah, for traction. That's what it is. So I'll get that welded up. We'll take the spacers out, we'll put them in our other brackets and get those welded up too.
Just like that.
Now we got to remember what we have these for.
This one.
You for sure?
Yeah.
You faux show.
Yeah.
Don't you lie to me.
Right there.
We're gonna let this cool for a minute, and then we'll put the other brackets together and get them welded. But we got 2 done. We're really busting them out. This is why it's taken 6 months to get this far, because everything is slow. All right, it took me a long time, but we got our custom made 4-link brackets all done and welded up. So these are the frame sides, these are the axle sides. This is the passenger. So I put a bracket that comes all the way to the tube. This side is the driver's side. It's gonna butt up into this. So it's actually gonna go around the tube like that. So I didn't put anything behind it, so we can just weld it up here. It'll end up being like that. But anyway, it's gonna work out really well. I was gonna put this in, but Sean's over here cutting out the quarter, where the quarter window went. Check this out. So what we gotta do before we can build a quarter panel is put the vent in. So this is the duct that Sean just built out of paper. Then we'll cut it out of metal, and we'll shape it. This is gonna go right in there. So he'll get that to fit. So this whole section will fit right here. You can see how he's got that all formed. So come in here. Obviously it's bigger than it needs because it's gonna go down through here. And it's gonna go on the back side. That way the air can divert through here and blow out in here. But that's what we're working on now. So if we can get that vent in, we're gonna put a scoop over it. It'll be out of aluminum and it'll be sweet, but we're gonna do that later. Then we can start working on the skin. All right, so before we tape that all together, blade it all out, this is everything that needs to be cut out. So we'll go ahead and get this stuff cut and then start shaping it and getting it into place. All right, so Sean has the scoop all installed. You can see in here, it's not quite finished. We've still got to fix some stuff right here. But for the most part, it's in. So this is a functional vent. We're gonna build an aluminum scoop on the outside that grabs there and puts it in on the brakes. But this is what we needed right here. So Sean's went ahead and he's made a paper template of the entire quarter panel. So now we'll take this and we'll transfer it into some metal and we'll build a quarter.
He's too good.
So remember, we're turning a 67 Mustang into a 65 look-alike. Now, if you don't know what the Hoonicorn is, you're living under a rock. Ken Block literally was like the biggest legend in the automotive world, in race car or in stunt. But anyway, I don't even know what to say other than he was freaking awesome. I think every little kid knows who Ken Block is. They got some inspiration off of some of his videos. They ever wore DC shoes. He was one of the founders of DC shoes. So that's pretty cool. But now, we get to make a replica car in honor of Ken Block. For some of the coolest people in the world.
You're not making it, you're redoing it.
Well, we're redoing it, but by the time it's redone,
It's gonna be a
it'll
whole
be
thing.
a full build. So sweet.
Just want to show that they're airflow in there.
There it was. All right, so this is what we've come up with. We laid the template out, and we've made the metal just a little bit bigger all the way around so that we can form it, and then we'll put it up on there, we'll trim it to fit, and have a little bit extra so we know we got enough. So we need to do just a little bit of a bend on the top. We're just gonna sit and work all these little kinks out. All right, we're gonna go test fit this. All right, we just need to fine tune it a little bit more, get a little bit more roll to it, and then we're gonna cut this out, trim it a little, and start fitting it. All right, we've just about got this all trimmed up. I got the vent opening all finished. So we're gonna fit it, and then we'll show you guys what it looks like when it's fitting, and then we'll start to weld it. So it's a little bit bigger than what the opening is. Sean's gonna start. This is not my expertise, so I'm gonna let Sean fit it, and then we'll start to weld it. But it fits way better than the first time. We ended up putting a band on the bottom. I'm gonna trim all this up. As you can see, it's pretty dang nice. I'm gonna step out of the way and let Sean really dial it in, and then we'll get the big welder ready and start welding. But what we're gonna do on this rocker, so we made us a little jig. This is gonna go right here. So we're gonna cut the old rocker off because whoever built this literally just cut it. But what we want is we want a full underbelly, belly pan, so everything is smooth underneath. And this is the solution that we came up with. So we went and had it bent. We got it sitting right over here. So this was our jig we took to the bender. They bent it for us. And now we will mark it all out. We'll bead roll the bottom. But that's not right now. I'm just showing you what we're doing after the quarter is all on. It's almost a 65 Mustang again. Well, again, I mean, that'll be. All right, so we've got this quarter panel tacked in place. Sean went ahead and kind of ground everything down to where we can start welding it out. So I'm gonna start on the vent, and I'm gonna go really slow so we don't warp the heck out of it. Just start getting it welded out. Once we do that, we've got to add a lip inside this door jamb so that it looks like it's a full quarter. We'll do that. Rocker has got to be cut off. We're gonna put the fender up and kind of show you where the fender's gonna be, and then start hacking that up too. As you guys saw in the Petersen Museum video, we went down and we actually took pictures, we measured, and we got a lot of inspiration from the actual Hoonicorn down at the Petersen Museum so that we can replicate this car as exact as we can get it. So all of this is by design. So I'm just going like a 1/2 inch, letting it cool it, and then I'm gonna keep going. The whole point is to keep the heat out of it. So if you look, it's gold, there's not a lot of blue. That's what we're going for, is to try to keep the heat down as much as possible. All right, we'll let this cool for a second, and then we'll get it all ground up and finish welding out the quarter panel. With the new rocker panel that we're going to install, the old one's got to be cut off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my thin cut, and we're going to cut this rocker into about right here-ish. We'll give a little bit, we'll leave a little bit so when we fit the new one up. How far into the quarter do you go, Sean? You want me to stay away? I'll stay away. You just want me to stay away a little?
Yeah.
And then you got it welded, so should I just come down?
Below the weld.
Below the weld?
Yeah.
I'll go straight out. Okay. Get it cut off. You can see they just cut it all. The frame ended right here, but the new rocker panel is going to actually attach, and go all the way under and tie everything in. So it'll be way better. So this is the jig I showed you guys. This is how it's going to go.
Wow.
That's what it'll look like. It'll go all the way through to here. It'll tie in and look awesome. So I'm going to cut the bottom of the fender off, because I know that we're going to continue the rocker through here, and the factory, we're not going to use any of that mounting. We're actually going to make it to where it bolts in here, and then we're going to tube it. There's a bunch of stuff we're going to do, but for now, I'm just going to cut this off, and then we'll get it up there and see how it goes. Just got to make sure I don't cut the wrong side of the line. This is just the start. Literally this entire section, the whole entire wheel well, everything's gonna get cut out of this fender. This is just the beginning. What do we do now, Tom?
Wait and see. I have an issue.
Yeah, I don't think the tire and wheel is gonna fit there. No. So we're just trying to tape it into place, get a visual idea of where we're gonna have it. It's something like that. Now we have an issue.
What? The tire won't go on.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Tire, no fitty.
Are you gonna cut it?
I'm not gonna cut it right now because we gotta get it mounted. We gotta do some tube work. We gotta cut this off because we gotta build some vents that go in here. We got a rocker panel that's gotta go in. So we have to start. Yeah, we're not gonna cut the rest of the fender out, but now you can see basically where we're gonna be. We're starting to take shape. All right, got the back edge all welded up. I'm gonna go get some lunch, come back, we'll weld the top, get the wheel well welded, and this quarter panel will be done. All right, we've got most of this all welded up. We're gonna go to right here. So from right here to here, well, we've got the rest all welded up. Down the back, we've got the wheel well. Sean welded the wheel well while I was at lunch. So I'm gonna take over and finish this up. Trying to keep it cool so that I don't warp the heck out of it. So I'm using the torch to cool it and then the air after I go a couple of inches. All right, so we've got the quarter panel all welded up. It needs to be ground, but that's it. And then we got to build a little piece right here to meet the front door, because on the 67, they're a little bit different than the 65. But for the most part, this is coming together. It's starting to look like a car. And then the next one, we're gonna build that fender out. We're gonna get a rocker on. We're gonna make some really good progress on the Hoonicorn replica. So we appreciate you guys watching. And if you never quit, you'll never fail. See you next week.